What's up, guys? Your boy Gabe D Champ. We are back with an early release for chapter 1082. Was not expecting this. Literally was just released my Burn Scar Man video and was thinking that we would still just be talking about chapter 1081. Definitely check that out if you haven't. So chapter 1082 is out and 4 chapters now. 4 chapters, still no Straw Hats. It's been a while since we've had that many. To me, I want to say might have been in Wano, but I think it was most likely the Reverie when we had like a good oh, actually, I guess maybe if you count the Odin flashback, the Odin flashback was definitely like a good 10 chapters. So I guess that was potentially last time we saw a string of chapters, no Straw Hats. Anyway, this is definitely things that we love, the continuing the world building, and it's time for Buggy to get involved in the fight. We knew this was coming. We knew this was coming. I didn't know how reluctant they were going to be about it, but this chapter was pretty dope. Let's dive into it. The Marine Hunter arc has begun, and we got civilians coming out and poking. Civilians is out here taking out vice admirals. Crazy. Now, the only way this makes sense is if it was like some type of surprise attack, because the vice admirals, we know they're pretty tough. And if you guys remember this guy specifically, T-Bone, he was from the Water 7 arc. This is pre-time skip, so I don't think he was a vice admiral yet, but he's a vice admiral now, and he just died. It wasn't like he was just like defeated or captured. He was killed. Crazy. R.I.P. to your boy T-Bone. Definitely was not expecting to start the chapter like that. But yeah, so we're checking in with Sengoku and Suru, talking about how Cross Guild is affecting the world and how they really need to try to prioritize coming for Buggy and the Cross Guild. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that Buggy would have really become such a big threat? But we know it's not really just Buggy. We know. Yo, this was probably one of the funniest chapters in a while. But yeah, so Sengoku updating us as well. He's just now finding out 4 days later that Garp is not at Marineford. We find out that Garp's joined the rest of Sword for him to go after and find Kobe. So this pretty much kind of confirms, at least to me, that Garp is not a part of Sword. I know a lot of people kind of was assuming that he was, but I did talk about that in the chapter review when Garp was going with Sword, that he's basically retired, so technically it's almost like he can kind of do whatever he wants anyway. So he's decided to go out with Sword, and they mentioned that Kujaku is with them. So Suru was like, oh, my granddaughter is involved, so now we gotta help. But yeah, anyway, so they're talking about how they really need to figure out what they're gonna do about Cross Guild, and then we switch over and check in with Cross Guild. We've been waiting for this, and this was the funniest part of the chapter. Every time we're getting Cross Guild, I think it's gonna be a comedy show, and I'm loving it. So when we get to Empty Bluffs and they revealed who was the dude that packed up Vice Admiral T-Bone, I almost burst into tears laughing, because Buggy's like, why are you so humble? You're evil incarnate. Like, hyping up this poor old man who was just trying to feed his family. Yo, this is hilarious. Yo, Oda is a troll. But this is beautiful because it really is going to show how the revolution of the world is really about to start taking place, because people are not going to just stand up for it anymore. There are people who are starving, who are not treated fairly. And you got celestial dragons who just do whatever the hell they want. The government and the Navy does not really do anything to protect the people. Yeah, don't get me wrong. There's definitely some Marines that are good guys that really are trying to do the right thing. But when you're representing an organization like the world government that's doing fucked up things, it was only a matter of time before you were gonna get situations like this to happen. Definitely looking out for more of these Marines to be taken out by civilians like this poor old man. But yeah, I definitely just was like, wow, this chapter is comedy at its finest. One Piece comedy at its best. So they're talking about their plans to build a ship, because they also need to, make voyages and things of that nature. They show the ship once it's built, because Buggy's like, let my guys take care of it. Once again, that was a mistake on Mihawk and Crocodile's part. Letting Buggy do anything is hilarious. Their ship kind of reminds me a little bit of Big Mom's ship. I would love to know what you guys' take on that, but it does kind of remind me of that big ship with the face that was talking, and I forgot what it was saying, but once they get the reveal of the vote and Crocodile and Mihawk see it, they're like, yo, Buggy, step into the office, bro. Step into the meeting room because you need to be reprimanded for this. They don't beat him up in front of everybody else because they want him to continue to keep the status of being the Yonko because they don't want to be the front men. But it's hilarious. It's like a big brother, little brother dynamic, and it's like, yo, they're gonna beat him up every time that something doesn't go as they would plan, or if it's something that he does that they were not okay with. I love it. This is so dope. After Buggy gets beat up in the back, and they're talking about their plans, so they can go after wealth and power. And as they're having their conversations, while Buggy is just there watching, he chimes in and he lets it be known, and he lets it be known that he thinks they're doing it backwards and that they should be going after the One Piece. So then we get a quick Buggy flashback, and we finally get that the last conversation that Buggy and Shanks had before they each decided to go their separate ways and start their own cruise. Shanks at that point said he was not interested in going after the One Piece, which is why we get this reveal. When we got the reveal about 20 chapters ago at the end of Wano, when Shanks says, I think it's time we go for the One Piece now. He was never trying to go for it before, but now that he knows that Joy Boy has returned, now he feels like it's time, because I guess that has something to do with what Roger told Shanks when he was a kid. So I guess we'll find out a lot more about that eventually when we get more Shanks stuff. But yeah, so Buggy's decided now it's my turn too. Now that I have the Yonko crew, I have the power. Now that he has the name and the notoriety, he's like, yo, let's go for it. Let's go for the One Piece. Then we'll get all of the wealth and the power that you guys are looking for. What's hilarious, and I know this is gonna get the fan base going, because ever since the Cross Guild has been introduced, and we got Mihawk's bounty along with them talking about how he has greater sword skills than Shanks, all the Mihawk fans, I should say, have come out and have been clamoring every other chapter talking about how Mihawk is still stronger than Shanks. And to me, what they just said, what Crocodile and Mihawk just said, kind of implicated that they're not trying to fuck with Shanks or Luffy or Blackbeard, but specifically Shanks and Luffy, because they both have tangled with them in the past. So I thought that was hilarious. But basically, yeah, the point is that Crocodile and Mihawk do not want to mess with Shanks, Luffy, or Blackbeard right now. They're trying to keep it low key. They're like, yo, bro, we're not trying to mess with any other Yonko right now. We just trying to do our thing and make our money. We don't want no smoke with Shanks. We don't want no smoke with Luffy. Yo, the Shanks fans are gonna eat this up. The Shanks fans are gonna tear Mihawk fans apart. This is gonna be so much fun. I'm waiting. I'm here for it. Buggy announces it anyway, which to Crocodile and Mihawk's dismay, the rest of the Cross Guild are loving it, and they're in tears of joy because they're so excited that they will now be a part of the race for the One Piece. And we're gonna definitely get something dope is gonna come from this. I don't know what, but let me know what you guys think. So yeah, the latter part of the chapter, we check in with the revolutionaries. I've been saying this for a few weeks that we have to go in and check in with the revolutionaries. We need to know what's going on with Sabo. And we get the reveal. We all knew Sabo wasn't dead. We also get the introduction of the vice captains of the Revolutionary Army, expanding the Revs a little bit more, which means that they're definitely going to be playing a bigger role coming soon. And we also find out from Dragon and Ivankov the reason potentially why Kuma just decided to just bolt out of there. They're saying that they probably had some type of programming within Kuma to return to Mary Joie if for some reason he was like stolen or released or something like that. So it seems like it's probably some programming that they've done to Kuma to make sure that he goes back to serving his celestial dragon. At least that's what they're saying for now. We may end up finding out maybe there was something else because he was attacking people when he was in Saburi, but we don't know where that's going to lead. So we're going to eventually get some check-ins with Kuma. We may also get that check-in with Kuma at the same time that maybe we get the rest of the backstory and we check in with Bonnie. We'll find out soon. But we find out everything that's going on. We meet the Revs. So like I was saying about Sabo, Sabo is okay. And then he also pulls up with Lulusia Kingdom's civilians. They were somehow able to escape the destruction of Lulusia. A lot of people were kind of speculating this. I wasn't. I actually thought Lulusia was really destroyed. Well, the kingdom is destroyed, but I thought all the people died. But I guess Oda couldn't bring himself to kill the milkmaid. We also got the confirmation that the milkmaid is still alive. But they're going to be a part of the Revolutionary Army now. So the Revolutionary Army is growing. And we also know that there were other countries, other islands that were in support of Flame Emperor Sabo. So the revolution is definitely becoming bigger and bigger. And with the beginning of the chapter, us seeing that civilians are starting to turn against the Navy and kill Marine Vice Admirals and these other Marines that have bounties on their heads, the world is really going to be turned upside down. I'm definitely planning to come up with where I think the story is going to be going with this entire revolution happening at the same time as the events that are going on with Egghead that are going to shock the world. I feel like all of this stuff is going to kind of come into some type of huge culmination to lead up to the final war. But I still haven't figured that one out yet. So I definitely will have to probably come out with another video just talking about prediction. Next chapter, my predictions will probably be wrong because I was guessing that at least this chapter that we would be coming back to the Straw Hats and seeing what's going on with Egghead. But I was wrong about that. I was guessing that a bunch of other things may potentially happen. I feel like now that we've kind of checked in with almost every part of the world, we got to get the Straw Hats next week, right? Next week, hopefully we should be seeing what's going on with Egghead and seeing which Blackbeard pirates pulled up. I was guessing Lafitte and Carrie Devon are going to be the ones pulling up to Egghead. I don't know. We're going to find out. I don't think we're going to find out what's going to happen with Sabo telling us the story about Mary Joie. Probably not until more events have happened. So we may get some check-ins to see. Yeah, you know, I'm going to say that it's safe to assume that we go back to Egghead next chapter. But let me know what you guys think. I would love to hear what you guys think. Let me know if you guys feel like Mihawk is scared to tangle with Shanks right now. I know he said he didn't want to fight him because he had one arm, but I think he might have been using that as an excuse. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. It's your boy Gabe D Champ. Peace.